Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Rule the Waves 2, a strategy game which puts you in the shoes of a Grand Admiral of the fleet during the arms race preceding World War I, through World War I, into World War II, and into the early Cold War period. We are playing as Italy in this Let's Play series. We have just won a war against the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and we have successfully taken the Dalmatian coast. So Italy has gained one of its most treasured and prized claims on the Austro-Hungarian Empire, that being Dalmatia, which includes the coastline, which is what Italy really wanted, and apparently, according to this map, also includes inland a bit, which I don't think we really care that much about. But in any event, Dalmatia has fallen to us, and that is a good thing for the Italian Empire. I think it increases our colonial income, it increases our national income. But now that we're back at peace, the arms budget has been drastically slashed. We were up at like 270,000 or 270 million, or whatever the equivalent of 186 is, in the wartime period. But now we're down to 186 now that we're at peace. So victory brings triumph, but also brings challenge, because it is 1905. Ship technology is starting to change. We're moving into the Dreadnought era. We know the British have 3 Dreadnoughts that are laid down. We don't think, intelligence doesn't seem to suggest that anybody else is building any Dreadnoughts, but certainly the British are going to be getting out ahead of everybody else, and as is to be expected, building 3 Dreadnought ships with, again, nobody else building any. With that being said, we're not building Dreadnoughts either. In fact, we have 4 pre-Dreadnoughts of the Butcher class working their way toward completion. 2 of them are 10 months away, 1 is 20, and 1 is 22, but currently on hold because we have no money. We do have a little bit of money. That's a little disingenuous. We have $5.6 million in the bank with $712,000 of annual surplus. So if we go ahead and restart the Leonardo da Vinci, which is our 4th Butcher class, you can see here we have enough money for about 4 months of that to get us through to close to the end of 1905. If we even complete the Leonardo da Vinci, she won't be finished until 1907, by which point she will be thoroughly outclassed and obsolete. Theoretically, if we went to war in 10 months when the Butcher classes come online, most navies probably wouldn't have adopted Dreadnoughts yet, so these quasi-Dreadnoughts would probably be useful. The Butcher class is 4 12-inch guns, 14 8-inch guns, 22 3-inch guns, so really a veritable gunboat with most of its weapons in turrets. So, again, there's value there, but probably not in 1907, so they're going to be short-lived ships. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and halt construction on them. We also have 20 submarines in our fleet, all coastal subs, but we can't build, I don't think we can build medium-range subs yet. Yeah, it doesn't look like it, just coastal subs at the time being. This fleet single-handedly won us the war against Austria. They crippled the Austrian economy and forced the Austrians to accept peace. Meanwhile, we're building our docks to be larger than 20,000 tons. For the moment, we have a 20,000-ton ship limit in anything we design, and that's currently the situation in Italy. With all of that being said, I do think we probably want to get off the schneid and start building our first Dreadnought here. The only question is, most of our fleet, by the way, we have a positive balance, because if you can see here, all the RFs represent ships in reserve fleet. The majority of our fleet's been stood down in the interest of cost savings. And since tensions are low and it's unlikely that we're going to go to war anytime soon, I have decided to not mothball the fleet, because that comes with some more serious delays in bringing the ship back up to efficiency, but at least send the fleet mostly into reserve status, presuming that a lot of the ships that we have may not be necessary for the Italian Navy. With that being said, let's see here. There is a bit of a debate in my mind about scrapping some additional ships or scrapping some of our ships, but I probably don't want to do that quite yet. I don't feel like I have anything really truly obsolete yet, so we'll probably stay roughly where we are for the time being. And let's move forward through June, and maybe in July we'll design our first Dreadnought. So private shipbuilding is expanding max dock capacity by 500 tons. I've never seen a 500-ton increment before. Russia's refitting some of their light cruisers with heavier guns. Germany is laying down a battleship, a Dreadnought of the Hessen class. Anything else? That seems to be the main inference, is that now Germany is also building a battleship. Great Britain is building 3. France is not building any yet. So no one else is building any dreadnoughts, but Germany's building 1 and Great Britain's building 3. So that arms race continues. Ships under construction continuing to churn along. I guess, you know what, let's get a little bit more money. Let's go 1 more month. Let's go to August. Our top spies managed to get a hold of blueprints for the U.S. Battleship Wyoming, currently under construction. She is a pre-dreadnought battleship comparable to a lot of what we have. Lesser armor, similar main battery, secondary battery, heavier caliber, fewer, but not in turrets. They're in casemates. So at least that's good. Meanwhile, the British are currently a new British ship, Magnificent, currently under construction. Another pre-dreadnought class, the Centurion class, a 1902 design. Okay. Range calculation, capped AP projectiles. Anybody else laying down any other dreadnoughts? They're rebuilding the Suffren class. Great Britain has a negative balance. British are putting a lot of effort into gunnery training. Invented centerline 3 turrets. That's fine. We already knew that. I mean, the main thing to me is I want those bigger docks. A 20,500 ton dreadnought is not super efficient, I don't think. So we'll go 1 more turn. There's been an internal upheaval in Bougainville. Great Britain is apparently sending a force there to restore order, but it's likely they have far-reaching plans. Issue an ultimatum that they back down. That'll massively increase tensions with Great Britain. Push for an international force. This is of no concern. I don't really care. So the British take Bougainville, which really doesn't matter to us. France is having financial difficulties, apparently. Okay. Yeah, I really don't care if the British expand their control in the Pacific, and I really don't want tensions to increase. I might have taken a prestige hit for that, though. It didn't tell me I was going to, but by the looks of it, I may have. Okay, our top spy has managed to get a hold of the blueprints for the British Dreadnought Formidable, currently under construction. Designed in 1905, she is their Dreadnought ship. They have 12 12-inch guns on her. They've got 4 wing turrets and 1 fore and 1 aft. So they can hurl a broadside. It doesn't look like they have cross-deck firing. So they have a 10.5-inch armored belt, 12 12-inchers, 14 4-inchers, 12 3-inchers, 4 torpedo tubes. They can basically fire a broadside of 8 guns with 4 wing turrets on each side. So that's an interesting design. Very traditional early dreadnought design. And relatively light at 19.6. Only makes 18 knots, though. Okay. Germany's now laid down a von der Tann class Battlecruiser. So Germany's going all in on the Battlecruiser game. The British are building 3 battleships, no Battlecruisers. Germany's building 1 battleship and 1 battlecruiser. And they're the only ones so far. Meanwhile, we are to October of 1905. 6 months left on the Blucher classes. At least the first 2 of the class. I may end up scrapping the Leonardo da Vinci. We'll see. And I haven't really built anything since 1903, by the looks of it. So even my light cruisers, I mean, the whole fleet needs an overhaul. I just don't have the money for it. Let's do this. It's going to take 3 months or so before we can lay anything down. I was really hoping for better guns. Let's go 1 more month. I really want to see if we can get better guns. Counterintelligence believes that Russia has stolen technology and torpedo technology from us. The affair is leaked to the press, and conservative newspapers are clamoring for action. Don't get upset over a little spying. We should send a diplomatic note to them and protest in the strongest possible language. We have low tensions with Russia, so we'll do that. Okay. Dock sizes are 4 months away from getting bigger. I wonder if I can... I don't think I can design a ship that's bigger than our docks currently can support. There's been an internal upheaval in the Marshall Islands. Germany is sending a force there to restore order, but they likely have far-reaching plans. All right, guys, the Pacific, come on. Let's They're unimpressed and they conquer the marshals. And we increase our tensions with them. Great. They're laying down another Hesse-class battleship. British have developed oil firing. Let's just get to 1906, I guess. The C-0 class, pre-Dreadnoughts by the British Navy. 4 14-inch guns, 12 7-inchers in turrets. All right. Okay. So again, if we look through here, the British are building 3 Dreadnoughts. Germany is building 2 with 1 Battlecruiser, and they're the only ones who are so far building anything along the Dreadnought line. That being said, we don't want to fall too far behind. It is January of 1906. 3 months left on the Bluchers. We're going to need to overhaul our cruiser fleet here before too long. We're going to need to make them faster. But we're going to wait on the battleship design for 2 more months. Could be completed with our best fire control. It'll add 1 month. Yeah. Research breakthrough, mechanical shell handling. All right, new docks completed. Top spies managed to get a hold of blueprints from the Austrian heavy cruiser. I think we already knew about her. 10-inch guns. Research breakthrough destroys up to 700-ton displacement. So that'll be nice. Maybe we overhaul our destroyer flotilla first. I don't know. Let's keep building the docks bigger. We'll spend another $3.2 million to make them bigger. It's going to take another year to make them bigger, but we're up to 22,500 ton size docks. These battleships will be done in 1 month. I think I am going to make the decision to scrap the Leonardo da Vinci. She's still almost 2 years away. She's not even a Dreadnought, so we get a little bit of money from her. That means we're building 3 of the Butcher classes. It'll bring us to 10 pre-Dreadnought battleships. Okay. Interesting. Was she eating up money, or did it looks like the budget went up? Okay, so first things first, let's design a new destroyer at 700 tons. She has 4 main guns with 2 torpedo tubes. That seems a little bit odd. How about just fore and aft? Who cares about those wings? They're a torpedo carrier primarily. Okay, can we increase tubes? Cannot have more tubes in mount. Damn. Alright, so centerline, centerline, centerline. Ship's not legal. She's seriously overweight. Cut speed to 30 knots. So we're going to have 2, 4, 5 centerline torpedo tubes. I don't know. I don't think the 3-inch guns are really worth all that much. I mean, this basically just becomes a torpedo boat if I cut the turret. So they're going to have 163-inch shells. Maybe up them to 4-inch shells and drop them to 150, 140, 35, 30. 125 shells of the 4-inch variety in a single gun. And then we've got 5 torpedo tubes. Ammo allowance for main guns on the low side. Too many centerline gun and torpedo mounts. Design's not legal. Really? Okay. How's this? I think it's silly that 4... I mean, I guess what we could do, get rid of 2 of the centerline swivel mounts. We'll have a port and starboard swivel mounts. Can we increase the tubes? No. So we do, that's a 3 torpedo broadside. That also saves us enough weight to add a rear turret as well, I think. And then... So she can make 30 knots. She has 1 fore, 1 aft, 4-inch guns. Actually, that's decent firepower for a destroyer. She has two centerline torpedo tubes and 2 wing torpedo tubes for 4 torpedoes total, with a total broadside of 3. So I think this is a reasonable destroyer. And we'll go ahead and save her. So it's a new destroyer class. It's going to take 1 month to design her. And with that being said, I think it'll probably replace our turbine class. The Sonic class, I should have made her short range too. Wish I could have changed that. Would have saved us some weight. Maybe we could have actually made her. That was a mistake. If I open the Corsi, what if I do make her short range? Does it save us enough weight to make her 31 knots? It does. Yeah, damn it. It would have been nice. What kind of accent is that? I don't know. 31 knots would have been nice. We can always rebuild her if necessary. I guess the medium range could come in handy. Maybe. Probably not. Okay, so we're going to design her, and then we're also going to do a design study on a Dreadnought battleship. I still don't like that I guess I can always increase the quality of my guns through a rebuild, but I don't like the fact that I only have -1 quality guns for everything above 12 inches. The thing is, a 13-inch shell can penetrate almost 7 inches, or 7 inches of armor out to 11,000 yards, 5 inches of armor inside 5,000 yards, or sorry, 9 inches of armor inside 5,000 yards. So pretty strong design, I think. Ideally, we up the belt armor to 10 inches on this thing. I'm using mainly an auto design. We can go up to 22.5, so let's max out her size and see what we can get for that. So if I go with a 10-inch armor belt that allows it to protect itself against its own guns inside 5,000 yards, belt extended to 2.5 is probably adequate for this era. Deck of 2. 2.5 would be nice, but we can't get away with that. We actually have the largest docks in Europe right now. Yeah, turret top 2.5. Should probably age better with 3-inch turrets. Funny thing is, this design gives us the same broadside as the British design with 1 fewer turrets. Let's make our secondaries 4-inchers and make them 12. I'd like to make 21 knots. What do we have to cut in terms of armor? 10-inch turrets, maybe? Turret top of 2.5. What's the gun data on that? Probably okay for now. I think we can increase turret top in like a later design. Drop the deck to 2. Could we make 22 knots? That would be brilliant if we could. We could. So this is going to be more going for more speed than it is for anything else. Also, the range should be short. There's no reason to build a long-ranged battleship when we're only going to be operating in the Mediterranean, most likely. So with short range, we could look at getting back to 3-inch turrets. Secondaries, maybe 2 inches. So 2 inches of armor on the secondaries, 3 inches on the turret top. Turrets will be 11 inches. Conning tower could be 12. And then deck 2.5. Nope, can't do that. What if we do this? So deck 2.5. Interesting. Okay. I don't think we have any torpedo detection technology yet. We do not, so that doesn't matter yet. 4-inchers, can we put them in turrets? We could. Make them 5-inchers. Drop the ammo to 90 rounds. 95 is probably preferable. I mean, I'd debate go with 12-inch guns. How much of a difference in performance? 12-inch guns, 8 inches. Yeah, there's a pretty substantial difference. We'll go 13-inch guns. So 13-inch main guns, 5-inch secondaries and double turrets. That'll save us some weight. No, I can't do that. What about single turrets? Any penalties there? No, okay. So maybe we do, that'll be 6 on each side. Honestly, I see no reason to have torpedo tubes on my battleships. I'm never going to use my battleship in a torpedo scenario. So we'll get rid of the torpedo tubes. That gets us back to weight positive. We don't have any tertiary guns. So basically we're going with super heavies, and then we're going with 5-inchers to fend off the torpedo boats. If we went with 4-inchers, could we, or 3-inchers have a quality of 1. 3-inchers would suffice to like just obliterate destroyers. But if we went with 4-inchers, I mean, we could go with 18 4-inchers. Would that be better at getting rid of destroyers? It might be. I guess we'll go with that. We'll go with 18 4-inch guns. That's 9 on each side. And then we'll go with the 10 13-inch guns with a broadside of 8. Short-ranged, 22 knots, so relatively fast, I think, for most early dreadnoughts. Belt armor of 10, turret armor of 10, deck armor of 2.5, turret top of 3, secondaries of 2. Powered by coal, 22,500 tons, and we'll call it the Imperator class. And we'll name it. That's fine. It's going to cost $5,200,000, and it will take 4 months. So it'll be mid-1906 before we actually... that's interesting that it said that. The design study would cost that much. But does the cost not kick in until next month? A rebellion has broken out in Russian Finland. That's interesting. A new cruiser from Austria-Hungary has just arrived on a goodwill visit. The press is eagerly reporting on this, or is eagerly reporting all of its advanced features. A reporter approaches you for comment. If you want to know why we don't have a ship like that, ask the politicians. Increased budget, hurt prestige. It's certainly a nice ship, but ours are just as good. That's the best they can come up with. We have nothing to fear from Austria-Hungary. Yeah, of course we're going to say that. We were just at war with them. Our latest destroyer is ready for construction, so we've got the Kozari class. Can we build 10 of them? How expensive will it be? $2.1 million per turn to build 10? Yeah, we'll build 10 of these things. So we're laying down 10 new destroyers. The destroyers will take a year. Meanwhile, the butcher classes are coming off the ways, or should be finished in about a month. So that should free up money for the dreadnoughts. Meanwhile, the 10 destroyers will go a long way toward replacing our turbine class once they're ready. We have 38 destroyers in service. We have 10 under construction. Kind of puts us in par with everybody else. We can probably decommission, maybe not all 10, but decommission 8 when they come online. Then we'll have 40 destroyers, which again will put us pretty much in line with where everybody else is at. But those destroyers are better. Still way ahead in the submarine race. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward one more turn. Found that it's having trouble reaching her design speed. Great. Major shipyard short on orders, offering to build another destroyer of the De Carisi class in 10 months at a 10% discount. Yeah, I'll definitely take that. Boom times. There's been a windfall in tax revenue. What's your recommendation to spend the money? Unrest level is 0, by the way. We should strengthen the Navy. We should build railroads to increase the long-term prosperity of our nation. We could suffer some modest social programs. So apparently budget goes up in every one of these scenarios. It's just we get more prestige if we say strengthen the Navy, so by all means. Okay, so those ships are coming off the ways. We are now $2.5 million in the black. The Imperator design is almost complete. It's really kind of frustrating. The Butcher class is going to be a little bit slower than we had hoped. They're only going to make 21 knots. It's a little bit frustrating. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrap 2 of the Italia classes. We're building 3 new pre-dreadnoughts, so we're going to go ahead and scrap 2 of the Italia classes. We get a little bit of money from them. Drops our battle fleet down to 7 in active service, with only 8 is what we'll end up with our standing fleet when the new one comes online, the one we're building. But again, we are switching over to the Dreadnoughts, so that's important to keep in mind. Still, Germany and Britain are the only... Well, actually, the U.S. has started building a battlecruiser, so Germany, Britain, and the United States are going to be in the battleship business. Okay... So we've got a lot of money left over, but we're going to hold off on freeing that money up or spending that money. They want to build another. Yeah, okay. If you're short on orders, I'd be happy to take another discounted destroyer. The Prime Minister wants to reduce finance for the Navy to build a new palace and a luxurious yacht for the head of state. What? A luxurious yacht. Sure. Not happy about it, but I'll take the prestige. Tensions are getting up there again with Austria and England. It's interesting that we have no tensions with France. It's like they're not playing the game or something. I don't know. All right, design study, 1 more month. Let's go ahead. Industrial production is soaring as new methods and technologies are introduced. The government is concerned about tensions leading to war. You've been called to give advice. What do you recommend? Call an international disarmament conference to reduce tensions. You know, the interesting thing is if we did this, could we forestall dreadnoughts ever becoming a thing? Because all these other countries have dreadnoughts under construction. We have not yet laid down a single dreadnought. That could benefit us. The budget would get hurt, but if I don't have to build dreadnoughts, that might help us. There is a theory that the Washington Naval Treaty actually helped Japan build a navy on par to the U.S. at the start of World War II. If it wasn't for that, Japan would have been miles behind. We should safeguard our interests by negotiating an agreement with someone. So we could try and get an alliance with France. We could try and increase tensions across the board, or we could try for an international arms conference. Let's try that. Much talk, but no concrete results. Okay. Better 9-inch guns. Okay. Our latest battleship design is ready for construction. All right, well, if we can't align on a new, on an arms conference, we can lay down 2 of the Imperator-class dreadnoughts. We can't afford 2 of them, but we can lay 2 of them down nonetheless. They'll take just shy of 3 years. We've got enough money for 2.5 months before we hit the black. I really don't like my tension level with Great Britain. They're the one country I don't want to fight in this game. They've got 21 dreadnoughts in service, 18 heavy cruisers, 24 everything they have, they just have so much of. They're the only ones that, I mean, maybe the U.S. too. But they're the ones we really want to avoid a war with. We'll lower our intelligence gathering a bit for a couple of months to help ease our budgetary constraints. So that gives us 3 full months of production of our dreadnoughts. Really need to overhaul the cruiser force too. Problem with Italy is you kind of have to pick your spots. You can't necessarily do everything you want to do. But those 9-inch guns would look nice on a new heavy cruiser, I guess. All right, so we'll move ahead. Finishing their working up. The British are building another Dreadnought class? The Formidable class? No, we already saw that. It's just a Jupiter. It's just another one of them. Research breakthrough, hull construction improved, rolled shipbuilding steel, 1% on weight savings. Superimposed X-turret on ships. Explosive shells. That was a lot of research there. Now that we have superimposed turrets, like 2 months after laying down new dreadnoughts. Prime Minister wants battleships to increase our national prestige. He wants you to build 3 additional battleships? Of course, sir, if you give me the damn money. Sir, what am I supposed to do? You want me to build 3 more battleships with no real extra money. Meanwhile, Great Britain's tensions are slipping upward. My yearly budget is smaller than after the war. I need more money. What the fuck? I guess we can reserve fleet these guys. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I agreed because I don't want to get, like, fired, but... Can we design a cheaper ship? Well, that's a weird design. Why would I do that? We can do the X turret, so we can do the aft superimposed. I think we still have the 3 centerline turret issue, though. Whoops. Can't do triple turrets yet. Alright. So it's similar to a Dreadnought. Maybe we make her 12-inch guns instead to save a little bit of weight. Also would have to make her a little bit smaller. The belt armor's terrifyingly light. Belt extended. Yeah, this is kind of a terrifyingly light design. So we'll put 5. Well, the interesting thing is the secondaries are actually kind of heavy. Probably can save a little bit of weight in the secondaries. So we dropped it down from 6 to... Alright. So 12-inch guns. Same broadside as our battleship, but with a super firing turret in the rear. 26-inch, or 26 knot speed. 7.5-inch belt. 2.5 turret top, 8 turret, 2 deck. These things are going to be flash fire magnets. Short range, I think, is probably the right course of action for these guys. That saves a shit ton of weight, actually. So we could up the deck armor a bit. Not quite to 3, but we can do 2.5. Turret top 3, maybe 3.5. All right, so that'll help with the flash fires. The turret facing is still an issue. Can't do 10. Can we do 9? Can't do 9. Can we do 8.5? Can't do 8.5. So we gotta go back to 8. 8-inch turrets. Can these guns penetrate their own turrets? Oh god, at 5,000 yards, these things are gonna blow up like candlesticks. Maybe it's better to have a weaker belt. I mean, even that doesn't save us that much. Why is the belt so cheap weight-wise? I guess we'll just go with 22,500 tons as well. I was trying to make something that would be more cost-effective. These damn things are going to be more expensive than my other battleships. They're gonna blow. They're gonna blow up. Probably. Alright. Well. We're going to call these guys the Time Bomb class. Not very Italian, not very immersive. But fitting. Yep. I can't afford that. Apparently I can't afford the design consideration. Shit. What if I make them lighter? Does that change the design consideration? Oh, no. All right. Well, what are we going to do here? Let's pause these guys. Better operating range for coastal subs. Interesting. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and resume these guys. We paused them for 1 month. That gave us enough money so that hopefully we can go back in here and we can load the Time Bomb class. Yep. And save. It will take 4 months, cost $5.4 million. Yep, okay. I don't know why it said I don't have enough money for that when then like it didn't actually subtract that money from my balance this turn. One of our major arms markets wanted to enter a technology sharing agreement with the U.S. Is it advisable? Sure. I don't want to go to war with the U.S. and I could use better technology. Ah, now we're going to be in the red. There goes our research budget. The Butcher's going to finish up in 3 months, so we'll go ahead and halt these battleships again. Revolution in African countries left some of our nationals stranded. Send a strong squadron to bombard the... Oh, God. Well, that's going to piss off the British. We're sending squadrons to Africa. Although our monthly balance looks a lot prettier now. 2 more months. A new liberal government wants to reduce arms expenditure. This is good. The world needs a pause from... No, that'll hurt my prestige. All right. Social reform. Of course. Now we develop a new 12-inch gun. I guess we haven't started building any of the time bomb classes yet. I don't know when the Prime Minister wants us to be building 5 battleships or battlecruisers. We're building what, 4, and like 3 of them are paused, or no, one's in research. Let's rework the design because we can. All right, let's give it better. All right, we're gonna do that. We'll give it better 12-inch guns, right? That's interesting. Do we save weight by doing that? Oh, we have new like technologies or something, so we can increase the turret. Even so, these things are going to blow up at 5,000 yards. Maybe if we reduce the conning tower to 9.5 and we up the turrets to 9. No, we still don't save enough weight. We can cut a little bit of ammo. I guess it's worth doing that. The question is, how much does it cost to rework the design? It takes 1 month and 500,000. Well worth it, I think. Oh no, people are pissed off at the higher levels because I'm not building enough battleships. All right, so the time bomb class is ready. So we'll go ahead and build 2 of them. We're going to build 2 time bombs, I think. All right, so we're building 2 time bombs. We're going to renew the 2 Imperators. And we can now build a slightly larger ship. Dock sizes can be... Our battleships can be larger now. So what do I want to do with that knowledge? All right. With the commissioning of the new Butcher... So this Butcher class makes 22 knots. 1906A. But this one these only make 21 knots. So if we replace machinery, will it make her faster? It'll take a year and it'll cost 1.5 million. But will it make her faster? Because the 22 knots is the speed of our Dreadnoughts as well. Also give them newer guns. Extra weight could be used for what? More ammo, I guess. Better turret tops. Theoretically better speed. Better speed will cost a lot. Let's cancel that. Let's open for redesign. Replace machinery will take a lot of time and cost a lot of money, but that's fine. I want the better guns. The extra weight should allow us to make a little bit more speed. But just to be sure, I don't know. The weird thing is I have to keep going back and forth. Okay, so the better caliber guns. Replace machinery. All right, we can increase the turret top armor without massively increasing time or cost. The guns are expensive. Am I reading that right? I'm sorry, guys. This is not... Shit. I'm not reading that right, am I? Machinery is 12 months. Okay, so actually this is a better route to go. Replacing the guns, replacing the machinery, massive weight savings, should make 22 knots, better guns, and only 12 months at 1.5. So we're going to do that. Does that count as a ship under construction? No, it doesn't. Damn it. All I did was exacerbate my battleship building problem. I do need to rebuild the other... See, why did it say 1.5 though if it's going to say 2.2 over here? That's nuts. In any event, it should get all our battleships up to the 22 knot speed of our Dreadnoughts, which we're building, which will allow us to have a better battle line. I think I'm also going to reduce the number of battleships in my fleet. No. We are going to scrap you. And then we're going to scrap 8 of the turbine class destroyers. Okay. So this brings us down, well actually we're going to have 32. So we can scrap 2 more of the turbine class, since we got so many of the newer ones under construction. So that'll still leave us with 40 destroyers, 15 growing obsolete cruisers, . We'll scrap 2 of these guys too. Navy experimental established suggests that the heavy cruiser Marco Polo could be expended for gunnery practice and damage assessment. What do you say? Good idea. Okay. So, the Navy is shrinking and becoming more nimble and more efficient. There are no build requirements anymore, I guess, so I don't have to worry about pissing off the politicians. I already did that. So, yeah. Oh, goodness. This episode's already running up at 45 minutes. All right, guys. Let's get these destroyers underway, I guess. Okay. So now that I've built myself into a budget crisis, 2 battleships, 2 battlecruisers being built, 2 pre-dreadnoughts being reworked. Our fleet has 4 active battleships. That's it. Honestly, I don't know what I can do with these guys. Put them in mothballs, save a little bit of money. They're going to get scrapped as soon as the battleships under construction are complete. We're going to need to rework these cruisers too. We'll have to figure out our budgetary issue next turn, or next video. I've been going for about 45 minutes, guys. Enough of me rambling and moving on. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Let me know your thoughts below. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.